Good evening, everybody. Welcome to League of Extraordinary Inventors. I'm your host, Mike from Faraday Research. It is Free Energy Friday. It is June 26th, 2026. Welcome to the show. As always, we have the three amigos on. We have Lulu, we got Philip, and myself. And it's Friday night. It's been a busy week. The sun has been going cuckoo, and basically it's been setting off some pretty catastrophic earthquakes, two in Venezuela. Day before yesterday it was 7.8 and a 7.9 earthquake back to back, 45 seconds apart as well. Right at the very same time, Japan got hit with a 6.9 earthquake. So the Earth's been really active due to the activity on the sun. Right now, there's apparently a pretty large coronal hole forming on the sun, and it's focused right at us. So that could be one of a couple of things that maybe a powerful series of X-class solar flares could be erupting probably in the next few days, which would cause havoc with anything that's electronic, power grid, your electronics, your cell phones, computers, anything that uses power. If it's hooked up to a battery or a power source, you could get a catastrophic, basically overload of energy in your device and fry it. So, it's probably a good idea to go out and buy those lightning arresters for any kind of power surge that might come through, especially, say, for your TV and your internet. I would definitely spend a few bucks and go out and buy one of those devices. They're lightning arresters. So if there is a power surge or a UPS power backup system, they have that built in there. That might be a wise thing to do. So, anyways, in the last week, I've been working on my power cells. I've got a new fabrication done. This is probably the best I've done in the last 2.5 years. This is probably the best power cell that basically I'm just waiting for it to cure. It has to get to a certain cure level where it's not fully dry, it's a little tacky, and that's when you apply the magnesium on it. That creates a better SEI interface. And I'll be doing that either tonight or tomorrow. And we'll see the results, see how many amps these power cells can put out. The last ones I made, they was spiking at 7 amps. It was holding and maintaining 2.5 to 3 amps for longer than 20 seconds of basically a short circuit, shorting the battery out. So this new battery, the layers of each, graphite and the special mix that I put in between the layers, I think I've got it down to about 50 nanometer, which is really, really good. Hey, Daniel Foster, welcome. Mike Does is on. And hopefully we'll get a few more people on. Live chat is open. Any questions, comments for our cast and anybody else who I've sent an invite to, you can jump on at any time and join the discussions. So, that's kind of my little entry rant. Oh, yes, I've got a new container full of nuts, my favorite nuts. So I'm munching on my nuts during the show. It's kind of a tradition of mine. Everybody has their own little traditionary things.
I've got my chips and my Ruffles.
Ruffles. Lulu, what do you got? Beer? Coke.
No, it's vodka.
Lulu, your microphone is muted.
Yeah, no, I was saying no, it's Diet Coke.
It's vodka in a Coke bottle. That's what we used to do in San Diego. They at some point there was a cat fight on the beach, so they banned alcohol on the beach, and we were going on the beach with vodka in Coke bottles and stuff like that.
It's
So
kind
I think on every beach you can't like have glass drinks.
no,
well,
it's not glass.
in
It's a-
Toronto. They're changing that. They're allowing people to drink in public parks now.
oh yeah,
Like if you have a picnic and stuff, yeah, they're changing the bylaws.
it's funny because Toronto is more the crime rate is
Yeah.
raising with the mass
Oh,
immigration.
I think here
speaking
it's
of that,
okay, like in public parks in Texas. I think you could drink.
yeah, some states are different. Speaking of crime, we've had 2 cars stolen out of our parking lot here at my building
Oh
in the
yeah,
last week. 2 cars stolen.
wow,
One
that's crazy.
Friday night last week, a week ago today, guy's Honda CRV was stolen. And then Tuesday night into Wednesday morning, another car got stolen, a Jeep.
Wow. Make sure you get a stick shift car, just because people these days can't drive stick shift
Yeah, stick
anymore.
shift.
That's a good
Yeah,
one.
It's
it's
true.
true.
They're not gonna
Because
go
most
anywhere.
people, yeah, because they always get screwed up with the clutch.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're not smart enough
Yeah.
to drive that.
Know where I learned how to drive stick shifted? Years ago when I was a young kid, I worked at Ford, and
Yeah.
I worked in the body shop.
Uh,
And we had this, I guess it was like a beater car that they had for the shop if you had to go grab something or whatever. There's an old Hyundai Pony. It was a 4-speed. So I would get in this Hyundai Pony in the parking lot, and back then the back parking lot was all gravel, right?
yeah.
So I just jam it in the first gear and just wind the engine up and drop the friggin' clutch and just start spinning the tires in the friggin' parking lot. And my boss come out, start yelling at me, "Stop, you're gonna fry the clutch in the car."
I
Yeah.
burned my first stick shift drive ever when I was learning. I was going up a
Yeah.
mountain,
Yeah.
and somebody left the foot brake, and I didn't know like there's like a foot brake that I'm supposed to unclick. And so I drove this thing, like up a mountain, not just
Oh.
normal terrain, up a mountain.
Oh,
I'm
so
like,
you had the emergency brake on.
yeah, I didn't know we in Texas we have flat ground, so we never have to use that. Like, it's not in my
Yeah.
like I don't know. I didn't think of it. Like, I don't know. Anyway, but yeah, we get up, to the mountain, and the engine goes.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was
Something started to smoke.
yeah. But yeah,
Yeah,
that was my
yeah.
man. Yeah.
But that's the
Yeah.
thing now. Like most cars now, they don't give you stick shift unless you have like a muscle car or whatever, right?
Yeah,
No,
yeah. You
this
have
was
to change it.
Yeah, overseas
Mhm.
they do it on small cars. I think this was like some like little Ford or something like that.
Yeah, like Europe is totally different. Most of the cars in Europe are all standard.
But even Ferraris, check out Ferraris, and they don't have stick shift anymore. Yeah, you have to. There are companies that can do it for you to change it, but by default they don't have that stuff anymore.
Yeah. Yeah, times have changed, right?
Yeah.
For the worse, yeah.
Yeah.
But I remember when I learned stick shift, nobody wanted to. I couldn't borrow the car from anybody because nobody wanted to show me. So I had to wait until I buy my first car, which was an Acura Integra back then.
Yeah.
And I learned. I had to learn it very quickly. It was a new car, and I learned very quickly to how to drive that stuff because.
Well, at least you had a
it was
better
my
car
own.
than I did.
Yeah.
My first car was a Pontiac 6000.
I had an Amigo Isuzu, a blue sapphire Amigo Isuzu.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I love that car. Like, it felt like
Yeah,
like an off-road Jeep. It drove like that.
I know. When it came to overall comfort and good drive, I would have to say my Pontiac Grand Prix was the best car I had. I missed that car. I had a 2001 Pontiac Grand Prix GT.
How many
6-cylinder.
horsepower?
Mine was, I think it wasn't, it was a 3.4 liter. I think it was like 240, 245 or somewhere in that range.
Okay.
But it went like you got it on the highway, it moved, right? So, yeah. Oh, yeah. Wally Tango Foxtrot made a good point. There was a earthquake last night there, right very close to Mount Fuji. So Japan's getting some seismic activity. Same with Venezuela. That seems to be the biggest headlines in the world right now, other than the stupid wars that are going on. Yeah, so like the sun's freaking out. There's a coronal hole forming. It's a very large one. You can check the solar activity. There's a lot of good YouTube channels, and they'll actually show you pictures of the sun and this giant hole that's forming in the middle of the sun right now. So they're kind of worried that it's going to start spewing out some solar flares. Yeah, so it's yet to be seen what's going to happen. I know the sun's been active for probably the last month. So
Here, like we keep on losing connectivity to the internet, and I feel like the electricity like is dimming down and then coming back up. So it's messing with the power lines too somehow.
yeah, it is. Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. Because you're closer to the equator, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I'm in the Great White North with Philip. So, but we did have a major grid failure back in 2012. The Earth got hit by a X flare, and it hit northern Quebec. And there was a area in northern Quebec that their power grid was fried.
Oh yeah.
And it was in the middle of the winter. Yeah, it was back in 2012, right around Christmas time. They had a X flare hit that area and took out the power grid. So it is possible. Yeah. So it's totally possible to have this happen. You get high coronal mass ejection, high charged particles. So anything in outer space is basically a sitting duck. So like satellites, any kind of spacecraft are out there. They get hit by that. They have no protection. So, yeah, it's a hit or a miss. You're just kind of playing with Russian roulette. When that comes by you, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, we're living.
So what?
in interesting-
Minimize your plugged electronics in the outlet. I think.
Well, just listen to like solar weather. Like I have an app on my phone that gives me alerts if there's like an X-class solar flare. And usually if that happens, you got 24 to 72 hours before that coronal mass ejection hits the Earth. So there is a window where we know, okay, this X flare is on its way. It's going to hit the Earth. Let's prepare. Let's shut down our critical systems or power grid for a series of a certain amount of hours until we know that that solar wind has hit us and there's no more chances of any kind of frying of the wires and communications and all that kind of stuff. Because I think probably in a worst case scenario, the worst thing to lose is communications. When you lose communications with the rest of the world, you're like, you're completely isolated, right? So, yeah, power and communications is the big one you try to protect. The other thing too is, up in the up in orbit, you also have GPS satellites. Now, what happens if they get all hit? Now, commercial air traffic has a problem. They can't navigate without those GPS.
Real time won't be real time. It'll have a lag, because if they have to relay, if one goes down or two goes down, they have to relay that signal to another one, so it doesn't become real time.
Well, not even that. They would have to switch over to a standard compass.
But they have there's a way there's a way to navigate with the stars like they used to do in the medieval times.
Yeah,
I know that's possible too, but
Yeah, you could do it, but the thing is, in a modern jetliner, they don't have that.
Yeah.
Right. So that's a really big issue. Yeah, I was doing
Does it affect walkie-talkies or like
oh, for sure.
It does.
Any
Okay.
communications. Oh, yeah.
Like
You'll get a lot of white noise. You get a lot of white noise, drop signals, internet will go down. You know, all Elon Musk's satellites will fry in the sky.
Yeah. He got problems with solar flares, I think, Musk. He tries his satellite, sometimes the solar flares.
Man,
Yeah.
I was seeing this video about how like an aggregate an amount of satellites throughout the years. You see, we hit like when Elon Musk started his satellites, how we grew from like just maybe the thousands, let's say, 12, 1800, 2000 satellites, to in the 20,000 satellites, like the like how exponential the growth went in just such a short time. And man, his satellites are covering the globe. It's like, okay, isn't that somehow not good for the planet to have so much of the energy being reflected, away from it?
Well,
You
yeah,
know?
because you get the solar wind, it hits our protective electromagnetic field that's around the planet. That's our protection from solar wind.
Yeah.
So if you get blasted by X flares, what happens is it's like it's same thing like a magnet. The lines of force going from
Mhm.
the North Pole to the South Pole, it'll start getting distorted or sometimes actually break a hole open. So now you're a sitting duck. If you don't have that protection from solar or cosmic radiation, now it's going to hit the Earth.
Well, do you think that
So
like the condensed satellites that are orbiting can be some form of a kind of a reflective or a
no,
disturbance to
they're just
those
too
rays?
small.
Too
They're
small.
just too small. Yeah, way too small. When you're talking, a satellite that's maybe the size of my kitchen table to the size of the planet, that's like a speck of sand on a beach. You know
Yeah,
what
but
I
there's
mean?
like if there's 20,000 of them rotating, it's not just,
Yeah, but the surface area going around the Earth is like how many millions of cubic miles? It's big. Yeah, the Earth's
Yeah,
bigger
I
than
know.
you think, right? So that's a lot of area to cover. To actually Faraday cage the entire planet, that would be like trying to build a Dyson sphere. you know,
Yeah.
Lulu, she's asking question, but she's really thinking about Atlas right now.
yeah, yeah.
Okay, I
You
all
really.
like my questions
She
always have
wants us invaded.
like okay, like my questions never have just a one layered reasoning of why I ask it. I ask it because it answers maybe another 50, once I get like the answer for that whatever I ask, that way.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like I try to pick my
Lulu,
questions carefully.
Lulu's the architect of War of the Worlds.
Why? Well, I mean, I'm a peaceful person to the most of the time.
Not worried about us, so tell that to them.
She's
Oh,
a
I'm not.
peaceful she's a peaceful person. She just want to be a world leader.
She wants to be the ambassador to humankind.
Yeah.
I would like to be the first person, like to make
Actually, you know what?
communications
I
with
could
extraterrestrials. That would be
see
wonderful.
Lulu. I could see you being that. I could see you being the ambassador.
Yeah.
Oh,
Lulu, the ambassador.
that would be fun.
Yeah,
Yeah, honestly, okay. If you really guys want to go like deep into this, I really believe that, we were kicked off the moon because we weren't worthy as a species to be on the moon. And like, I feel like they told us whenever you have somebody worthy, then you can come back. Other than that, like, stay back on planet Earth. So that's what I
I
think.
I don't know.
I
Did
just,
you ever? Yeah, I don't know if you guys heard this conspiracy theory, but basically there's a few people out there that have a pretty good case about the moon. The moon was not originally part of the Earth.
Well,
It was out here.
isn't it some huge asteroids that hit the Earth and then they started rotating around it?
No, it's deeper than that.
No,
It's an
no.
artificial thing.
Yeah, it's an artificial satellite because
Yeah, it's not. It's not
see
even
like the
asteroid.
Earth, everybody thinks the Earth is perfectly round. It's not. It's irregular in shape. It's not a perfectly round sphere like when you look at a globe, sitting on a table on a desk, it's round. But the Earth isn't 100% round. The Earth has
Like a
almost like
wobbly shape.
yeah, kind of like oblong kind of thing. Not totally completely round, symmetrically, but the moon is. That's very unusual for the moon to be that perfectly round.
Not
Okay,
only
yeah.
that, they one time they detonated something on the
Yeah,
moon,
it rang like a
and it
bell.
rang. Yeah, it rang for
It
hours.
rang
We're
like a
talking.
bell.
Yeah, but not just for a little bit. For hours, it kept on doing
Oh,
that.
long time,
Yeah,
several
so I,
days.
I would
And
imagine, there's so much metal in there that kept on.
at some point, there were people saying we never land on the moon and things like that. But if you want to confirm, it's very simple. I mean, why don't you take a telescope and check if there's a flag on the moon? It's pretty
Mhm.
easy. Why
Really,
can't we? Why can't we
really,
settle this out?
really felt like, what about like solar? What about if a small asteroid hit there and hit the flag? Like, just, I mean, like how you
Yeah,
go and exactly right, and it's not there anymore. So you can't, you don't know. If
yeah,
it,
that's possible.
But if you look at the moon, right? Okay, yeah, it's a moon. It's dead. There's nothing there. But you look at all the craters all over the moon, and if you look at Earth, Earth should be the same way. There should be a shit ton of craters all over the planet, just like the moon. So it kind of shows that, okay, what was here first, the moon or was it the Earth? I think the Earth was here way before the moon. The moon was brought into our orbit. I think actually there's a Mars connection to this, where I think at one point in history, Mars had the same orbit. It was in the Goldilocks zone like the Earth. And something happened and it threw Mars out of its orbit, out of the Goldilocks zone, and eventually died because it was out of the Goldilocks zone. So that's another conspiracy theory, which has some interesting grounds on it. And that would kind of explain why there is the asteroid belt between Mars and Jupiter. Was there something there at that time that exploded,
Yeah, what's up? What's up with
causing?
that? What's up with that? I mean, if it was a regular planet, how could it have broken apart to create an asteroid belt?
Right,
Makes no
right.
sense.
Yeah.
According to mythology, they say that whatever the asteroid belt is, all the like the rocks, that it was used to be called Tiamat. And they spoke of these things as celestial bodies. And it was supposed to be Earth, Tiamat, and the celestial bodies had this fight, and then Tiamat lost, and it got broken. But it was supposed to be something like planet Earth. This is according to ancient mythology. So
Yeah.
it could have been, a living planet, and something hit it. Yeah.
Yeah,
Mm.
interesting. Hey, Ben is around. Ben is in the house.
Yep. Yep. Mr. Ben, he's here. He's still muted. I guess he's just setting up his webcam. Yeah. So, yeah, some interesting stuff happening with the solar weather and all these volcanoes going off, and also the catastrophic earthquakes happening in Venezuela, and so what's happened around Mount Fuji right now with the earthquakes. I was looking at the fault lines going through Japan. So you got the um, Philippine plate, you have the Pacific plate, and the other one, I forget the name of it. So basically, you got three plates colliding. And Japan happens to be the lucky customer where this collision is taking place. That's why Japan is notorious for having, massive earthquakes. And they adapted to it. You go to Japan, and all their buildings are specially designed to survive
Yeah,
catastrophic.
like in California, they have
Well,
the
Japan's way
pillar.
ahead of them. Yeah, Japan's way ahead of them in the
Yeah,
technology for protecting buildings. But then if you look at, say, poor Venezuela, they got 60-year-old buildings that are all made of concrete, and they're all crumbling to the ground right now.
okay,
Like
interesting.
giant buildings just crashing to the ground.
Okay,
Like
I
they're
bet there's
estimate.
like massive casualties, and it's so
Oh,
sad, you know.
they say right now they're saying definitely at least 10,000, but they're fearing that it could hit as high as 100,000 deaths. So yeah, that's
That's
bad.
sad. That's really
That's
sad.
bad.
Yeah,
yeah, that's
So
bad.
that's
Canada, and a few other countries have offered help to Venezuela. Apparently, Canada has a pretty good emergency unit that's equipped for catastrophic events like this, and they go all over the world when there's a catastrophic event and try to help those people out. So hopefully, Canada will get a team together and head out there and try to help those people out in Venezuela deal with that tragedy there.
I'm wondering what about the US, you know, because there's a US in
Yeah.
between Canada and Venezuela, and you know, like I hope there's
Oh,
like
I'm sure
US
the
effort
U.S. is
teams.
offering.
Yeah.
I'm sure the U.S. is offered. Yeah.
Of course, there's oil there, so
Yeah. Yeah, we'll help you out, but we want 20% of your oil.
yeah. Um,
The
Yeah, these
Venezuelans,
earthquakes.
like, you know, first get what was it, their president, like Trump, whatever, you know, and now an earthquake, and it's just, man, these people need a break.
Oh, if Hugo Chavez was still in power, if he was still alive and running that country, oh my God. Hugo Chavez was one of my most favorite presidents ever. He was awesome. You should have seen him he did this speech in the United Nations one time, and he's got his shoe. He's taking his shoe off, and he's slamming the table with his shoe. Oh my God, it was hilarious. Oh, yeah, I think he was talking to Bush. Yeah, it was Bush, George W. Bush
what,
Jr.
what was the most recent one that Trump took out? He was
Oh,
uh,
Maduro.
yeah, he was a
Maduro.
terrorist, is that it?
Yeah, he was a drug kingpin. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. But by the way, not to talk too much about politics, but I think um, London. I heard London. They sold Canada to China, something like that. And the other thing, very important, is conservative or liberal in Canada. It's a uni-party, so it's the same thing. They have the same agenda. So um,
What do you mean they sold it? Like they sold it security bonds, sold like sold debt, sold what do you mean like sold it?
yeah, the Mulroney, the ex Prime Minister Mulroney and Harper and Trudeau and now Carney. They well, especially it started with Mulroney back in the 90s. He laid the groundwork to the infiltration of China to have a legal rights and things like that. And over time, it added up, and now they have secret courts. They have secret courts. Um, they have a kind of underground courts with China to make the rules and things like that. So, um, yeah, Mike. By the way, I don't want to talk too much about politics, but I just want to say that the Liberal or the Conservative Party in Canada is a uni party, is the same thing. They have the same.
Yeah, same. Yeah.
Yeah.
Most
So whether
definitely.
you vote for conservative or liberal, it doesn't matter.
Yeah. I'm afraid the U.S. is very similar too.
Yep,
But,
you're not
Trump-
wrong. It doesn't matter who you vote for; they end up succumbing to the big money interest.
Yeah.
Are you fighting with your can of peanuts right now, Mike?
No, I just dropped a pop bottle off the table. I kind of shuffling stuff around, and I kind of launched it off the table.
So it's like in the morning, in French, when we wake up and we have bad hair, we say that we fought with the calm, So
Yeah.
that's why I was saying, did you fight with the can of peanuts?
Oh, I'm at war with everything all the time. Oh man, what a week! Oh,
Hey,
this week's
Ben is in the house. Do you have did you have some experiment tonight, Ben?
No, I don't really have any updates other than a couple of corrections that are just maybe a single correction that Mike does brought to my attention. Other than that, I really don't have that much.
Actually, I got something to show.
I actually I do in the future will have some new circuits coming. So like I'll be working on a foxhole radio circuit for the coil. And,
Nice.
Yeah, and hopefully get the double pole experiment working with Mike does in his method. But, I'm sorry. Yeah, that's all I have.
Yeah, actually, I got something to show. Just bear with me for a sec. I gotta change this setting here. No, that's not the one. Why did I hit the same damn button twice? All right. Visual effects, none. Oh, we have Mr. Jarvis is here. I'm just going to put myself on the full screen for a second. So this is my new battery fabrication. So I got the graphite. So there's a total of 2 layers, actually 3 layers. The bottom layer is graphite foil. And then I got that special mix that I've been talking about for the last 2 weeks that holds electric charge. There's a special element that I found that does this incredibly well. That is been fabricated. I got it down to probably about, I would say about 10 to 20 nanometer. And then this is my solid state electrolyte, which you're looking at right now. And that's about 20 to 30 nanometer thick. And it's just about right now. It's tacky. It should be ready by tomorrow, and I'll be able to put the magnesium on top, and I got a finished cell. So I'll probably cut these pieces here into 4s. So I'll have a total of 8 cells. And yeah, so this is looking really, really good.
What if you leave them that size?
Oh, it's just, yeah, that's eventually the size that I want the cells, right?
Would it produce more on the side?
Oh, yeah.
Or,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah, more surface area. Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. I also did some more of my electrolyte blend. I used like cookie sheets. So you can see that there. I got a few of them left over from that batch there. So I try to get them as thin as possible. So like these ones here still need time to dry. Actually, I do have a drying process that I use. I heat them in the oven for a certain temperature for a certain amount of time. So I do it like in cycles. So that's what I've been working on this week. And hopefully this week I'll get those cells put together and then do some current checks on it. And yeah, it's coming together pretty good. So, Mr. Jarvis, good evening.
Hey, I thought you had mentioned using iodine to keep charge. Is that
That's one of them.
Some pretty cool stuff. How do you prevent it from evaporating? Isn't it pretty easy to evaporate?
Well, yeah, that we'll have to talk about offline.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's offline stuff.
I
It's
did
a
want to
special
chime
way of
in
doing it.
about the moon stuff. I had this like epiphany a couple days ago. Like, what if the moon was like a vessel that came during the dinosaur period, and the reason the dinosaurs shrunk in size and giants shrunk in size is because the additional gravity to the Earth's gravity, right?
Yeah,
At the time of the dinosaurs, they said the spin rate of the Earth was much faster too. So
yeah,
So-
because
so-
the Earth
so
was young.
It's like the Death Star, is that it?
yeah, so if it came into our gravitational field, the system combined gravity would kind of shrink things on Earth, so like the giants of the ancient times and everything could have shrunk to our size because of the moon's
Yeah.
gravity over time.
We
Well,
had
you
more
have to-
oxygen too in the atmosphere.
Yeah,
So-
Yeah.
like the atmosphere was totally different back 65 million years ago.
Mhm.
The atmosphere that we live in right now is not the same atmosphere that they had 65 million years ago, and they got actual proof in the ice. They drill into the ice. And they
Mhm.
can actually tell what was in the atmosphere at that time.
There was a lot
Oxygen
more.
levels, CO2,
There was a
There's
lot
a
more
lot more-
oxygen.
a lot more CO2.
Yeah.
Well,
A lot
it
more
has also
CO2.
to
Well,
it has
until
to do with the size of the heart of the creatures.
Right.
The bigger the
Because-
heart, because it needs to pump more.
Right. That's right. And-
but that's based off of our current gravity too. Like, okay, so on the equator, things grow bigger. They even say in Texas everything's larger, but in a way it is because on the equator you have more centrifugal force there. Like if you
Sure.
take a pendulum and you take the
Mhm.
time on the equator compared
Yeah.
to the poles, there's actually
Mhm.
less gravity at the equator, which is counterintuitive, but it's
Mhm.
because of the centrifugal force it's kind of pushing
Yeah.
us out further.
Exactly, but that's why people on the equator are shorter, and people up north are taller. The
No, I
gravity-
think it's the other way around, right?
No, it plays a role for that, and the gravity has to do with it.
Yeah, I think the
Mm.
people closer to the equator are taller because
the
there's
opposite.
That's, you would think that would be the case, but I personally
like Eskimos are really short. They're up north, with the ice and everything. They're very
yeah,
small
but
people.
if you look back at even American history and also back in Iraq and Turkey, they've excavated mummies that were excessive 12 feet tall, 13
Right.
feet tall.
I think that's
So-
prior to the moon influence is what I'm
Yeah.
getting at. Because like
Yeah,
right
I
now,
think so
the
too.
rainforest, all the rainforest plants and everything on average are much larger than north or south type.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Because there is like slightly less gravity at the equator because it's
Yeah,
so centrifugal.
But also, too, say 65 million years ago, the CO2 levels in the atmosphere were a lot higher than what they are today. And the reason why I know this, there was a lot more vegetation. So obviously, the plants and trees, they absorb CO2 like we breathe.
Yeah,
out.
but they create oxygen. They create more oxygen.
the algae,
Right.
the algae pumped out the oxygen.
Algae, yeah, algae in the sea pumps out oxygen. So there is fossil record of higher levels of CO2 back then. And then something changed. So was it the ice age that changed everything? It very well could have been.
Mhm.
The why they're shorter on the equator has to do with the development of the people. They hit puberty much faster than people in the north because of the tropical climate. In regions that it's hotter, it's children develop much faster, and so when
It's
once-
true. That's true because when I was in San Diego, people of my age they have the skin they look older than me. but just with their
They're
skin on
aged.
the
Yeah,
they're
it's more exposure to sun ages
Yeah,
your skin
exactly.
faster, right?
yeah.
Yeah, I know temperature plays a part too, but like the fact that a pendulum ticks at different rates from the poles and the equator, there is literally less gravity at the equator than there is at the poles.
Yeah. Now, you look at some of the largest land mammals that live on the planet right now in Africa, say like an elephant, well, they're very close to the equator. So, that's why you got massive, megafauna that live in that area.
Mhm.
Now, if you go back, before the Ice Age, you had massive populations of what do you call the woolly mammoths? Massive. They said over, I think the estimates were 20 million woolly mammoths in North America
Wow, that's
prior
long.
to the Ice Age.
And they're trying to bring them back now.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. That'd be just as smart as bringing back the dinosaurs, like Jurassic Park.
They don't
Exactly.
understand,
Yeah.
like if one escapes or whatever, like it will shift the ecosystem. Like
Mhm.
you
It could, yeah.
you might have a lot of polar bears,
Well, you would
or you
you
might
would
like
you would screw up the entire ecosystem. The ecosystem
Yeah.
has evolved with the times, so you're trying to wind back time. It will throw the whole entire ecosystem off on the planet.
I mean,
Mhm.
we've already seen the catastrophic effects of introducing, species outside of a, country into a foreign area, an invasive species.
Species like politicians. No, just kidding.
Touche.
They cannot be helped. That's a hopefully a species that's going to go extinct.
like what
Yeah,
like in
so-
Florida
It's an
they
endangered species.
introduced a fish that was supposed to clean up the water canals and the swamps and whatever. Then that became an invasive species and started
Mhm.
like eating
Tip
the
the
other fish.
ecosystem.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the Chinese carp, right?
Mm.
Yeah.
That was
Well,
the,
no,
that was
there's
the
in
Chinese
Florida.
carp.
I don't know what's the fish
No,
called.
the
but it's-
Chinese carp is in North America.
Okay.
We have a problem. We have a problem with the Chinese carp right now in the Great Lakes. They're destroying the Great Lakes.
Mhm.
You're trying to think, okay, well, how the heck did they get here? Well, they got over on the Chinese ships. Sometimes
Just
they
like
escape.
kudzu too,
Mhm.
Kudzu came
So-
from Asia, and now they call
so-
it mile a minute. Like in Georgia, it grows everywhere. It
Yeah.
really is like the Jumanji movie where the plants are like
Yeah.
grabbing you and stuff. Like,
Yeah, invasive plant species. Yeah, there's a lot of that. Yeah.
did I ever tell you about the crucian carp? It's pretty cool. I don't know.
Which
if I-
one?
It's called a crucian carp.
Crucian carp. Well, I know carps are invasive species that are destructive.
Right. Yeah, goldfish is a type of carp.
The
They're
goldfish, yeah.
Yeah, they're really rugged types of fish. But the crucian carp, the cool thing about it is when ice forms on the top in cold climates, they're able to survive by increasing the alcohol content of their blood. It can go
Really?
over 50% alcohol, and it's basically like an anti
Like an antifreeze.
exactly. Yeah. So, I
So,
was
like,
thinking-
if you catch it like while it's doing that, you can drink its blood and get drunk.
Well, perhaps, but what I was thinking is that alcohol is literally released from its skills as it's going. So you could do that on
Yeah.
purpose if you cultivated that and just threw some ice in there to get the reaction going. You have free alcohol that's not produced by
You're
you.
gonna be drinking like fish water plus alcohol. God knows what nasty.
No, yeah, you would distill it just like you would, you could distill
Yeah.
it. I
Yeah, we'll
wouldn't
call
drink-
the drink the
use
fishy
it.
tart.
but
No,
you would
run a car with it.
you would literally have a fuel.
could, yeah.
with it. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
that.
You would
Yeah,
have a
you'd have fuel.
Yeah. That's what, like, I was thinking if we went to Mars and you brought a crucian carp, you would have food, fuel,
That's
Yeah.
interesting. Yeah, you could literally grow your fuel.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's like
And
it's like a living garbage can.
and yeast takes like 3 days to cultivate and do its thing, but
Right.
like if you could instantly produce alcohol from a fish, like you got fuel on demand.
Yeah, no, it'd be like if I were actually know one of the species that I would bring to Mars if I were to bring something would be a cockroach. Because cockroach can live in the most harshest
Worms.
of
Bring
worms,
worms.
No, there's
worms and
there's another
cockroaches.
beetle that can live in space. I forgot the name. It's
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about. I've seen this. Yeah,
yeah,
I
Space
know what you're
beetle.
talking about.
Whoa.
yeah, the
It's a yeah. There's a whole bunch of insects that can survive like the most harshest of
yeah,
atmospheric conditions.
yeah.
Some
Got the
yeah.
little water
So
bear. It's like a form of it's a creature. You can see it under microscope. It looks like a little bear. Those
Yeah.
live. Those don't die. And you have some forms of jellyfish too that you can cut those things up a billion times and they will regenerate into a new
Yeah.
jellyfish. They don't ever die either. So
But I
Yeah.
think that would be like a process, if you like want to terraform a planet,
Mhm.
bring the species that is the most rugged,
Mhm.
dominating
Kudzu.
species on just bring a
Kudzu,
whole,
worms.
all that
Yeah.
kind of stuff and just dump them right on Mars. Just
Yeah.
rain it all over the place. And that's part of terraforming, right? Bringing
Algae
life
would
to the planet.
have to be a must though, because it's basically all
Yeast,
kudzu.
algae,
Oh,
all that kind of stuff.
It's tardigrades.
Tardigrade. Yeah.
yeah, those what I was talking about. They look like little bears under a
Yeah.
microscope.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, they can survive outer space apparently.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's actually mushroom spores in outer space because they have a charge. Whenever they release the spores, they literally have a charge to them. They act like rockets,
Really, eh?
and they can seed
See,
clouds.
there's your warp drive. See, Philip, there's
Yeah.
your warp drive. Just use a evasive species.
Yeah.
Interplanetary shrooms.
They do it on purpose. And they're
Interplanetary
they're the largest organism on Earth. Is a mush like the mycelium that covers the Earth is the largest organism on Earth, and like it seeds the clouds with the spores. So it causes rain to form whenever they release their spores. It'll
really?
gather
It also-
rain. Yeah, it's crazy.
It also provides a network for trees to communicate so they can, share resources, I believe.
Hey, Jarvis, I got a question for you.
Sure.
When you're on a mission in the Navy or something like that, you cannot drink alcohol or take weed or anything like that.
Mm-mm.
That's for sure. But people in an undercover operation. That means people in an undercover operation, they cannot drink alcohol or smoke weed or anything like that either, right?
It depends.
Unless they're authorized, they can get authorization in specific circumstances.
It's like you're not supposed to have a beard in the military, but when you're off duty and you're trying to conceal your
when you're on undercover operation, you're on duty.
There are no rules when you're undercover. You go with the flow, not to blow your cover.
Yeah, it depends. Like if you were a cop, maybe you would have to still stay sober and stuff. But if you're special forces, you could basically do whatever you want.
Oh yeah, interesting. Because you're not taking weed right now, so I'm just wondering if you're on undercover operation right now.
No, this is a vape. This nicotine.
All the soldiers go on leave, and when they go on leave, they all get fucked up.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, in that vape, he's got like crack or
It's military grade.
Y'all don't know nothing about this, babe.
Hilarious.
You guys hear about?
Go ahead.
I heard about like this true drug that like where voodoo people would blow it on people. I thought that was fake, but it's real. It literally takes over. You can't. It's like a true serum. You can't remember what you do, and people could be like, "Hey, give me your credit card number," and blah blah blah, and like your will to say no
Yeah,
just
I've seen
completely
something like
goes
that.
away.
Is that from the flower? There was some kind of yellow flower that I was reading
Yeah.
about.
Yeah. And it's basically like in Brazil, you can get it anywhere, or Cuba. I think it's in Cuba. It's like it's growing on the streets next to like elementary schools and stuff. It's just like
Perfect, right beside your kid's school.
right. But I always thought that was like voodoo stuff, but apparently there is stuff like that that you can blow on people and it'll make them into like zombies. It's crazy.
I'm pretty sure the CIA is all over that.
That's what I was getting at. Is like, you know, I'm sure they tried that for their true serums and stuff. You know, they did.
Talking about that stuff, did you know that Newton was esoteric, and you know, he did a good job, like I was saying last week, but he was esoteric and he was investing a lot in the stock market, and he lost a lot. He lost a lot of money at the end. But he was esoteric. I didn't know that.
He was an
alchemist.
he was an alchemist.
Yeah, and he was actually in charge of the gold. Like he made the treasury. He was literally he was an alchemist. Yeah, and he was in charge of the treasury. So there is conspiracy that he did know how to do alchemy, you know, because like who else would be perfect other than like Newton as the treasurer, you know?
Being able to turn lead into gold, yeah.
Exactly. You could, I mean, he'd be a perfect treasurer.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's crazy that we're just now discovering those papers, you know.
I have a question. Let's say like you know how Schrodinger's cat, it's dead or alive, and it depends on perception, and it depends on like, you know, the observable universe you created through consciousness. What if they actually put in like in there like silver or copper, but told everyone is gold, right? And all those people that said they were gold, they died. So wouldn't that kind of collapse the function? So the younger generation, when they open that because they think it's gold, it'll be gold.
Yes.
I mean, theoretically, right? Because there's, you know, if the information field collapses, then the perception creates it. And if they think it's gold, that they all along thought it was gold, if any like human being that still has a memory that it's not is gone, so that information, you know, they can't tap back into it. So the only thing would be the observer's effect.
I have issues with Schrodinger's cat kind of thing though. Yeah. I don't know. I'm deterministic.
I'm just gonna scoot out for a quick smoke. I'll be right back. Just have at her.
Roger that.
Roger that.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I know there is an observer effect, but I don't know if it's as strong as. I think it's maybe like I think it's called like the morphic field, where it takes a group to basically be in some sort of vibe to actually make something serious like that happen. Like one person's observation won't have the power to really, you know, tweak reality to where you can have people believe in gold and hallucinate.
Well, I'm just saying that if the information field is there, but if you, let's say it's in a server, human beings like a server, right? You keep information, but if that is eliminated, then there's no more like the meta world doesn't exist, the information. So the only information that would, you know, be is whatever is in a person's memory of that. And if it's been taught all along that, you know, this is what's inside, this is what's inside, this is what's inside, when it's opened, if you understand, the collapses one function and activates another.
Well, then it's more of a power of belief kind of thing, right? Like Bruce Lipton, like you can believe strongly if like 90% of the people believe that cat is still alive, than just by a morphic type of influence.
Exactly. Yeah. I
could-
mean, especially if the primary is, is destroyed there, you don't, so it's one field of information. It's no longer two,
Right. Yeah.
So I don't know. That's how I think it works like that. Because
It could.
do you hear a tree falling in the Amazon? No. But do you understand? Like, it rides along the events happen through observation. Like whatever the universe gets constructed through observation. It collapses
Right.
the function of the void.
See, I kind of believe like if the glass is half empty or half full, it's both,
Yeah.
If it's a wave or a particle, it's both. If it's black or white, it's gray. Like I think there's two simultaneous things at once. So I guess your power of belief would come in there. Like Bruce Lipton was really big into that. Like if you ever heard of him, he could show like epigenetic effect by the power of belief, like healing bodies and stuff, through just like, mass prayer and truly believing in something really does cause physical changes. And, I think everybody has a holy temple within themselves. Your body is your holy temple.
So philosophically, it could be like an extension of I think, therefore I am. I think, therefore it is.
Yeah. And sensing, like Lulu said, I mean, we only have 5 that we know of, and that's why they say extrasensory perception. We can't even fathom like those.
I wouldn't say.
That's a good point.
I wouldn't say I think, therefore I am, because the AI can think as well. But one thing is for true is I feel pain, therefore I am. That's the way I would put it.
Well, a rock is, right?
Sorry.
Can a rock feel pain?
No, so it's not.
So you don't believe in rocks?
Well, rock, they don't have souls.
Oh,
hey, how do you know what a rock's been through?
You mean conscious, right?
He's had a hard life. He's had a hard life.
I'm discriminating rocks.
I'm sorry.
He's like, yo, I had my pet rock craze. You guys were tapped into me then. What now? You guys forgot about the pet rock? Come on.
Oh no. I was just talking about that like the other day. I used to have one of those. Do you remember the invisible dog on a leash? It was just a leash.
Oh yeah.
It looked like an invisible dog.
Man, in the 90s, they had so much cool stuff. Like there was so much creativity compared to now. Like the slap-on bracelets and like when you think back of like new toys being developed, like seriously, almost a monthly basis. There's a new commercial for
they were all creative in a different way. Yeah, they weren't like cookie cutter.
Do you remember the internet boom and all that? And you had to upgrade your computer every 6 months, because after 6 months it was outdated already.
You've got mail.
Yeah.
I remember that.
Yeah. But the best was the music industry back then.
Yeah.
I'm still listening to old school songs.
Yeah, all the classics from the 90s. Yeah.
Classic rock.
What did I miss?
You missed the party, man. It's over. Show's over.
You miss rocks. Rocks are alive. Rocks keep it rocking.
The revenge of the killer rocks. All the pain they accumulated over the years.
Okay, you guys are for unreal. Okay, I don't know, but this is today. You know what I was doing for the past 2 days? I was cleaning up toys. We just spoke about toys and rocks. This is what came out of my kids' tubs.
Oh,
they had rocks. So you guys are talking about this, man. This is like, okay, there is some form of yeah. If I show you the tubs of toys around me, you'll laugh. Look,
Yeah,
Toys.
with all those
Toys.
rocks, it sounds rough.
Toys. Yeah, like, do you understand? Like,
It's
you
a
don't even
hard
talk, like,
situation.
yeah, all this toys back from the 2000s. So, I'm like just unloading things. Yeah, and I found rocks between the toys. So
That's
funny.
lovely. That's no, that's not what you
My
want to
pet
find.
Rock
My pet
down.
rock.
Yep. This is one of their pet rocks, so I don't know which one, but yeah.
Oh, does it have like a little face drawn on it?
Yeah. She's got like googly eyes and you name
Oh,
it. Like,
googly
it's got
eyes.
everything.
Googly eyes and hair. I never seen a hairy rock before. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's called a Furby.
But that's funny. You guys were really like talking about pet rocks today. I found one.
See? We're mentally connected.
They're alive, man.
How do you really like make sense of that? There is some form of synchronicity in events that happen in a day, and then just you hear somebody else talk about it. It's like, my God, like how does that connect?
Just what you said, synchronicity.
Yeah.
People,
Collective consciousness.
yeah.
You know how often that happens? Like, for me, I'll say 50% of my life is like that.
Yeah.
Seriously. Like, it comes back. Like I would just talk about something and then just come back from some other source, which is, but I've gotten used to it, so it's all right.
Well, Lulu, if you're into stuff like that, look up this guy. He's passed on a long time ago. Neville Goddard.
Neville Goddard.
Yeah, look up him. He was a manifester and was able to. He has two of them. One's called the ladder experiment, and the other one is called I have not, the not technique. So
I'll
the
look at
ladder. So just an example, the ladder experiment is you think to yourself that envision yourself climbing a ladder. And as you're doing it, I am not going to climb a ladder. I am not going to climb a ladder. So you do this just before you're falling asleep in bed. So you get your mind hopefully down to theta. And that's just before you go to sleep. You do that technique and say, I am not going to climb a ladder. I am not going to climb a ladder. The next very day, you're going to climb a ladder. And I'm telling you, it works.
Hopefully, I won't
100%.
wake up climbing a ladder. Just all of a sudden, like I would wake up and I'm climbing a ladder.
Yeah, it works really, really good. And the other one that works really,
I
really
am
good
not
too
going to
is
hit the lottery.
knot.
I am not going to hit the lottery.
Yeah. Well, put it to you this way. I did that knot technique, not for the lottery. I'm just saying I'm not going to get X amount of dollars for my project. Within 48 hours, I had somebody send me money.
That's
And it's
no, but what you're doing.
Yeah, but Mike, that might just because you're good at what you do,
No, but that's because
No,
of the.
I don't believe in coincidence like that.
No, but that's the reverse of the Murphy's law. Murphy's law is whatever the opposite of whatever you wish to happen will happen.
Right.
Like that.
I'm
Right.
afraid to
And-
test this though, Mike, because what if it's the opposite for me and it doesn't happen?
Well, to try the theory out tonight before you go to bed and you're relaxed and you're lying in bed, do the ladder technique. I am not going to climb a ladder, and visualize yourself climbing that ladder.
I work in
Okay.
construction, so I don't know if I don't want to be climbing some ladders tomorrow.
So you're pretty much a shoe-in for that one, I guess. Well, try the knot technique. Try something other than money, because most people, that's what they do. Is
Something simple,
So,
yeah.
something
Okay.
simple.
I
Say,
will.
I'm going to get a phone call. I am not going to get a phone call from my Uncle Dave tomorrow. Something like that.
Something simple. Okay, I'll try.
Something like that. I am not. And you just keep repeating it about 9 or 10 times. Just before you're falling asleep, you do it. You have to do it in that state. Or a friend that you haven't talked to in years, or, somebody you haven't talked to in a long time, say, I'm not going to bump into this person. I am not going to bump into this person, and see what happens. Come back and tell me your story.
Interesting. I will. I'll test it.
So,
I,
yeah,
I'm,
I've done.
I am not going to see that hot blonde I met. I'm not going to see that hot blonde I met.
But
I'm not gonna
Hey.
fly to Alpha Centauri. I'm not gonna fly to Alpha
Okay.
Centauri. I'm not.
yeah, watch you get abducted tonight.
Oh my god. Keep your phone on you just in case.
But you don't get it.
Gone.
Like
We've
I'm
lost
one of those
Lulu.
people. Like, please take me, please, it's me, right here, me. Like you can't see me. I can put flare lights. You know?
How
You
many
gotta have your
times?
phone so you can record the video.
True.
How many times they had to say it, Mike? 3 times in a row?
No, but in most cases, like the ladder technique, he says about 5 or 6 times.
Yeah.
And you just, I've done it, and yeah, the next freaking day I realized, oh my god, I'm on top of a ladder. you know?
Nice.
So yeah, it's weird how that
So,
works.
so you're doing reverse Murphy's laws on your own brain.
Like almost like because what you're doing is you're putting out to the universe, well, say like money or whatever. I don't have $5,000, so if you're putting that vibe out and that's going out, your mind is connected to the the universal consciousness, and it has no choice but to give what you don't have. You know what I mean? You're saying, I do not need
what you don't
$10,000.
have, but what you don't want also,
Right.
Yeah.
I do not need this. I do not need that. And so the
Yeah,
universe
sorry. I'll Murphy's laws.
but like a lot of people like to go after materialistic things like money or whatever, a new car or a new house or something like that. Do something like what I did. I am not going to hear from my friend that I've known for over 30 years.
Yeah.
He's just going to call me or text me or give me some sign. And
Yeah.
it worked. It worked several times.
But Murphy's laws is actually anything that can go wrong will go wrong. So if
Yeah,
having
Murphy's
money,
a son
mindset.
of a bitch.
if having money, but if having money is wrong, then it will go wrong. You know what I mean. If you project that money is bad for you, then you will have it because it will go wrong. You know what I mean. So that's exactly what you're doing.
Yeah, you conduct you're like your own producer, right? To your life.
Yeah.
You're the producer and actor, right?
Exactly. So but that's true, man. Every time I work at the job, we're hoping to release a version and do mass deployment, and then we're hoping, wow, we're gonna make a lot of money. But there's always a freaking feature that breaks at the last minute that prevents us from doing mass deployment.
Mhm.
So that's Murphy's law. We test it in our lab 1,000 times. It works well, but when we deploy it, there's something that goes wrong.
Yeah.
That's it.
You
That's
ever heard of
exactly-
You ever heard of this Murphy's Law? You're happy now, but you'll get over it. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, interesting stuff. I kind of been reading up on Neville Goddard and a few people. One guy, he's got a YouTube channel. His grandfather used to attend Neville Goddard's conferences, and he was part of like the elite group that really got into his material. And he basically, Neville Goddard was around during the Great Depression time, and he went from rags to riches with learning this knot technique and learning how the universe works. Whatever you're lacking in, that the universe wants to fulfill and
Yeah.
add to
I
it.
don't have a rocket.
but
It
I don't
sounds
have a
like
rocket.
you,
the Seinfeld episode where he was like, "I figured it out. You just got to do the opposite of what you think women want."
yeah, but,
Yeah.
but Lulu itself, you don't have a rocket. You have to say, I don't want a rocket. You know.
Yeah.
I don't have one. And I don't want one.
Yeah, exactly.
There you go.
I do not. That's important how you word it. I do
I
not
do.
have
I
a
do
rocket.
not have. I do not have one, and I don't want one.
Right. So what's going
I-
to happen is one of your family members is going to buy you a rocketry kit, and they're going to give you this rocketry kit.
A
So you can start
life-sized
launching
one that
rockets.
could pierce the.
No, it'll
You
be
know,
a
like
rocket, but it won't be
life-size.
life size, but it'll be a rocket still.
Imagine like if the universe scales it down like that. There you go. You know.
Model rocket.
We do not
Sad.
want our own island. I remember you talking about that, Lulu. You know, there is a Jarvis Island, but exactly like
The
you said.
Jarvis Island.
Yeah, there really is, but it's full of bird shit, like Lulu was saying. But you could,
Yes, yeah, like phosphorus, you could extract
Exactly.
it for fertilizer, for they use it in weaponry manufacturing. They use it in
gunpowder.
explosive. You name
I
it.
mean, it'd be a shitty job, but
What's
Yeah.
up? What's up?
No, we don't
Make
touch it.
rockets.
We don't touch it. It's not our. Yeah, we just own it and
Hey.
let it pile for like 10 years.
One man's bird shit is another man's rocket fuel.
Hey, what's up with the Epstein Island? Is it for sale for $5 now?
What is it?
What's up with Epstein's Island? Is it for sale for $5 now?
I don't know. No, I saw this video
nobody would
of
buy it for
YouTubers
$5.
trying to go to the island, and it's heavily protected
You know
according to
what?
these
No.
YouTubers. So I don't know.
Know how much negative energy is on that island?
Mhm.
Oh, I wouldn't
Yeah,
be able to stand. I wouldn't
Yeah,
be able
there's
to
not
stand foot
enough
on that.
sage in the world.
All the dead souls over there should
Oh my
haunt the
God.
place.
Yeah, there was
Oh.
a trap door leading directly to the ocean in one
Yeah.
of the so the only
were
reason
throwing
to do that
dead-
is to
dead
dump
bodies.
bodies.
They were
Yeah.
throwing
Oh,
dead
God.
bodies in the sharks.
Oh my God. Could you imagine how many dead souls are just lingering around that island?
Yeah.
Oh
Hmm.
my God. Scary.
It's even worse than that right
that's
now
about
in
right.
Europe. But I'm not going to talk about it because I don't want to creep everybody. But there's a lot of bad stuff in Europe right now, especially UK.
Yeah.
But,
Oh yeah. UK is falling apart.
yeah.
And now you got to
Falling
be
apart.
like 18 to go on social media or something now, right?
In Canada, they want the Bill
Yeah.
C-22. Bill C-22. They want to make it illegal for minors under the age of 16 to be on social
Yeah.
media.
They want to make it illegal
Wow.
for teenagers to be on social media, but they can't change sex when they're kids. It makes no sense.
Yeah, I can see that backfiring. It's almost like if
Oh, yeah.
if you over shelter your child and you don't give them the experience of reality,
They don't
You
get
know-
street smarts.
right?
Yeah, kids
they
always
don't
want to
get
do
street
what you
smarts.
tell them they can't do.
Right.
Yeah,
Exactly.
that's right.
Yeah, they'll
Yeah.
find a way.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's like they teach kids these days. If they fail an exam, they can retake the exam until they succeed. Makes no freaking sense. It doesn't
Yeah.
prepare them for the commercial sector later
No
on when
kids.
when they'll
George
get
Car-
in the market.
Yeah, George Carlin had a good part of his act. He was talking about exactly what we're talking about right now. He goes, "No child left behind. No child left behind," and all this kind of stuff, right? Yeah, totally. This is
George
going back
Carlin.
in the '90s.
Yeah, he was.
Oh,
on it.
George Carlin. He was
Listen,
incredible.
some of the rules in education are really sucky. Like I have one of my kids. She got an A in her English class. An A, okay? They made her do it over again. Why? Because she was late in the morning, 10, 5-10 minutes every morning. Like she has like maybe 50 or 60 tardies. They made her do the whole course over, although she has an A in the class. It's like, what are you teaching?
Yeah,
Oh,
that
like
makes
if
no
you're
sense.
exactly that, but that's part of the education system because
I had
they,
to,
you know, it's not
yeah,
fair. It's not
I
fair. Like you penalizing smart kids for getting an A because what they were late. How is that not forgivable? The
I
kid
had
has an
to
A,
Yeah,
take
if you're
math
gonna penalize
exam.
them, don't affect their like education or their grade or their ability to proceed. You know what
Yeah.
I mean?
Yeah,
Like
it's like
there's a way to penalize somebody and not have it affect their education.
Yeah,
And
like
hold
for
them
her,
back.
she's like, why should I try if like, I get an A just because I was tardy? It's not good as a motivation tool for children. Like
yeah,
okay,
exactly. It's
I
not
I
based on
understand if
merit.
she's failing,
It's
but
not
no, she
based
has
on
an
merit.
A.
If it was for that, if it was from being late, I would have failed all my classes in my whole life because I was late after high school. I was late in all my classes.
But you know
Every
why?
Yeah,
single one of them.
there was a lot of classes I went to in college that I didn't even need to be in. I would just take the tests and because I knew all the material. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Yeah,
So
But do you know why they
the
do this?
remedial. It's for work ethic.
It,
I,
it,
do
because
you
they
do?
lose money on the students. Each minute, the state pays the school money. So if the kid is late, like they're not going to get the full amount for that day. It's
Right.
all
I
about
mean,
money.
it's like 3 years of remedial, so you might as well go for a certificate instead of a degree these days. You'll
What
save
is
a
that,
shit
Mike?
ton.
What is it? What does it
It's
say?
an
Say.
ice cream sandwich.
Oh,
Ice
Yeah.
cream sandwich.
Oh yeah.
yeah, I have to agree with you, Jarvis. When I got certified in construction work, it really opened the door in terms of what kind of jobs I could get.
Yeah.
Whereas the degree that I was going for, I wouldn't have been able to find a job in that field. But
I
Definitely.
think I think the worst thing, the problem with the whole society right now, is a lot of people they do degrees and then they realize it's useless and they go back doing another degree. So they have done 3 useless degrees and they still can't find a job. That's
Yeah.
a lot of people. A lot of people are doing that right
and
now.
it
And
becomes harder if you have more
That's exactly
degrees
right,
because you
yeah.
become overqualified. So
yeah,
whoever your
exactly.
boss is going to be, you're going to have way
Yeah,
more.
look, they get intimidated. Yeah.
Mhm.
Like, yeah.
Yep. Get a certificate. Know what you want to
Then they
do.
look
And
down upon you like that's it, that's all you have. Like, do you understand? It's like one of those, like if you have like a degree you might be overqualified, but if you have a certificate you might be underqualified. So it's like,
not these days, I don't think. I think certificates are having a lot more weight than they used to.
yeah,
I think just because, all the debt that's associated with getting a degree, practically everybody that graduates is going to be in debt for like 5-6 years of their life trying to make it back. So,
but that's what the bankers want. They want us to be in debt. And the other thing, did you know that the I always wondered why they're not investing into innovative startups and things like that much because that's the only way to improve the GDP per capita. But apparently, the banks they invest like 80% of the money on real estate and the housing market and all that. So all the money of the banks they go there. So and if the politicians goes against it, then the banks are gonna go to the Bermudas, and things like that. So politicians are at the mercy of the banks basically. So it's really simple, and the banks they're not interested into innovative startups.
Yeah,
So
and realistically, like what three banks run the entire economy of the entire world, because they
yeah,
also own all the oil companies and control the petrodollar.
yeah,
And wow, they pull all the strings, including the politicians' strings. So they're
yeah,
all puppets.
exactly.
didn't Rockefeller say, give me all the money in the world and I care who not leads it? Like,
No,
because was that
that's
Rockefeller? Or it
no,
was
that's
one of
the Rothschild.
Rothschild.
He said I
Yeah,
don't
some
care.
asshole.
I don't care who leads the country as long as I make money out of it. Something like that.
Yeah, like
Yeah, he can get a giant middle finger from me.
No, sorry, I don't care who runs the country as long as I control the interest rates.
Yeah, no, that's it. You know, like because what they're trying to do is create wealth exponentially out of a finite pool of wealth. They have to create it out of thin air from somewhere. They do that with debt interest and all sorts of
Yeah.
different ways of manufacturing actual. It's not real wealth. It's not
Yeah.
real money. You know,
They
not-
were
They don't
already
Yeah, all the currency is fiat currency.
yeah.
They don't
it's all
even-
it's like pumped with air. You know, like I don't know how
They-
else
Well,
to describe it.
well,
they were already able to finance both sides of the war and the World War II. So imagine the money they have these 100 years later. You know,
see, where it all started going bad was after they had the meeting at Jekyll Island, and they
Mhm.
created the fractional bank reserve. That's where everything started going haywire. That's why
yeah.
the U.S.
Banks
is
got too much power.
Well, they tax
Yeah.
your income, and that
Yeah.
that's unconstitutional, anyways.
yeah, it's
you know,
it's yeah, it's what do you
They
call
say
it?
this is regarding
Black-
America.
not
They say
blackmail.
this is a Christian nation, but
Extortion.
the Bible specifically calls out to relieve debt every 7 years. So
Well, I mean, we don't even make pennies anymore, so there's not real money. Like I told my brother, my niece, I told him I have $200 worth of pennies. They're like so freaking heavy. I had to have crates carry
Yeah.
them out of the bank. But
I don't think
by the
people
time
honestly-
by the time she's old and I give that to her, it's going to be worth a lot more, because 1 penny's worth 3 pennies now. If it's
Yeah, because
84.
yeah, see, like Canada stopped making pennies years ago, long time ago.
But I don't think
and
people
also,
still understand the consequences of America stopping. Like, America is literally, by stopping making pennies to save money and cut costs on inflation. It really is literally the country pinching pennies.
Yeah,
Like,
it's
that's-
admitting we're
It's-
just we're fabricating
Right.
money, like you said. yeah.
Exactly. Exactly. Yep.
It's
saying
really
the quiet
taking
part
the
out
wealth.
loud.
It's taking the wealth of from the people. Any metal is in people's possession. That's distributed wealth. When they pull that, they're taking wealth from the society.
But
You
it's not
understand?
only that, it's a sign of a system in collapse, and total
That's right.
failure.
Do you know how much they
Exactly.
saved?
Exactly.
They
Yes.
saved $60 million. That's it. Like worth
That's
of
not
penny.
much.
That's not much at all.
Wow, that's not a lot at all.
Yeah.
Wow.
What
Yeah,
I'm
so-
wondering is, like, I know it's illegal to melt currency when it's minted, but since it's not minted anymore, can you melt it for its metal value? Because it's technically not minted, so
Yeah.
can you?
Yeah, if it's they're trying to do whatever they can to get it out of circulation. So if you have a jar in your bedroom full of pennies, there's nobody to tell you that you have to declare it and bring it to the bank,
Well,
which they
what I-
probably would take it.
yeah, copper is a wartime material for sure.
Yes.
My
it's
dad-
still considered a currency if you have it in whatever's left in circulation. It's just a lot of stores are stopping to take them too. So be aware of that.
Yeah.
Since,
and-
since
and
my dad
even-
retired, his favorite hobby is collecting coins. So
Yeah.
in the past few months, we've been like all the coins that anybody has, from me or my siblings and the grandkids and everything. They've been bringing jars to their grandfather, just filled with
Yeah.
coins. But yeah.
But imagine,
Yeah,
You know,
even nickels too. Apparently, they're
Mhm.
changing the metallurgy of the nickel to have less. And also, like when Canada came up with instead of the loonie, and they got the toonie now, they're using a cheap metal on the outside with a copper center. So
They went
Yeah.
from
Know
the
what I mean?
loony to the toonie.
yeah, yeah,
I didn't
Yeah, we
know
have a
that.
two-
That's actually
$2.
kind of funny though.
yeah,
they have,
yeah. We
they
have a
have,
loonie and a toonie.
do they have the Animaniacs?
Yeah, really. That's next. Yeah.
I've missed
And
it.
we thought it was so stupid. Why would you make a toonie What now you have to stamp it out of metal when you can print it on a cheap piece of paper and just keep the $2 bill. Well, they wanted to get rid of the $2 bill. Well, that's dumb. It costs more to manufacture a toonie than it takes to manufacture a $2 bill.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I've been to the Canadian Mint in Ottawa and actually seen how they, fabricate all this, the coins and the dollar bills. They showed it was really cool when we went in there. Everything's like super high security, like ridiculous, right? They took us on this tour and they showed the actual plant where they actually stamp. At that time when I was there, they were stamping the medallions for the Vancouver Winter Olympics, and they had these giant rolls of steel. I swear to God, they were probably about 5 feet in diameter, 5 feet tall, and probably about, I think, at least 20 inches wide. And she points over to the one roll. She goes, "That roll right there is 24 karat gold leaf, like
Whoa.
in a like a sheet metal. Like that's how it was, and it's all rolled up." She goes, "How much do you think that roll is worth?" So this back in 2013 when I was there. I just shot a number. I said about $4 million. She goes, "No, try like 27 million for that roll."
27 million.
Can you share my screen?
Yep.
That is Looney Toony.
Check this out. Check this out. Since 1920, I'm not sure if I showed that before, but I'll show it again. That's the year's income versus the total debt per capita. So in 1920, the salary was pretty low, but people had no deficit. They were not in debt compared to started with the year 2000. People had more greater deficit than they make money, and now in 2020 it goes down the toilet, but it's pretty.
Well, Elon Musk said
And then
anybody that's preparing for retirement in 10 years doesn't have to worry anymore. That's what Elon Musk is saying. He said it's not even
Elon
worth.
Musk is an idiot because real wages haven't changed. They've actually gone backwards compared to inflation. Real wages, if you look at the chart, and that plays into here too, because real wages haven't kept up with inflation, at least in America, for over 50 years.
Shrinkflation.
That's the problem. Inflation is catastrophic for an industrial nation.
And a Snicker bar
every
used to be like
generation
this
that
big.
comes.
Snicker
Every
bars
generation
used to be
that comes after the previous one is able to afford less goods and services than their parents did, and it's like a frog boiling in a pot of heating water. You don't realize it until it reaches a threshold, which we're about to reach, actually.
Right.
Yeah,
I
personally
think of your telecommunication devices. How much do you pay for your cell phone bill? And if there's more than one person,
in Canada is the highest. The highest charge that they charge us for the cell phone in the
Not
G7
only that,
country.
there's subscriptions everywhere for everything. There's going to be subscriptions to start your car with the remote start now for new vehicles. There's going to be subscriptions for they're pinching pennies everywhere. With the penny gone, the stores are literally rounding up your total. So you'll have to pay an extra, what is it, 4 or 5 cents or whatever.
They're gonna make it balanced in their favor every time.
Exactly. But we're getting hit from all angles. As consumers in the working class, we're really getting hit.
Yeah, I remember when I've been to Africa, to Zimbabwe and Zambia and all that. Everybody, that was back in 2007 or 2006. Everybody had their cell phone over there. They were living in huts, but they had a cell phone. And me, I'm
was
paying
like that in the Philippines.
And in Canada, we're paying $200 a month for the freaking cell phone and the internet and all that. And
it just shows you they don't have to the cost to actually make the devices are very cheap now because we've got the cost of manufacturing down. and they're just inflating the prices to keep up with their, like their shareholder expectation of exponential profit margins.
It's not just the
exactly.
service; it's actual the hardware as well. Like a cell phone, like a brand new one, could run you like a little over $1,000.
Yeah.
And
Well, they're
Control.
saying the new Apple iPhone that's coming out in the fall is going to be about $250 more expensive because apparently there's a global chip shortage, and because of the shortage, you're going to be paying for your iPhone about $250
It's
more.
like so easy to like stage a shortage. You know what I mean?
That's
Like,
right.
Yeah, it's
that too.
manufactured obsolescence. It's designed, and
Controlled
they've
obsolescence.
created the shortage by being greedy.
Right.
These devices, they could last a lot longer than they do now. I mean, you have older devices. I don't know if you remember like older cell phones. They work, like even the first
Right.
generation smartphones, they work for long. Yeah, these newer
Yeah, I
phones,
had the
they don't work.
Motorola Flip.
they force you to change. I had a cell phone, and I didn't want to change it. They tell you the certificate of authentication is no longer being supported.
It probably
And
would still work if it weren't for that,
Yeah, they lock you out with the software because the
Yeah.
hardware, the older systems still work. Yeah. And the way they do it with, I know Apple computers is at least the desktops, they would manufacture the systems with poor airflow so that they would literally burn themselves out after a few years, and you would have to go to one of their service technicians to get it repaired.
Same with the
And
batteries.
it's bullshit.
I got locked out of my Bitcoin. I had a Bitcoin wallet on the phone's old cell phone, but when the certificate got expired, I cannot even connect it to the internet.
That's what I'm going through with the like Cash App. I can't get in my Cash App because the my version of the iPhone software is too old and it won't update.
You have to update it, yeah.
And I
That's a
got
big
like
problem.
Cash App money in there right now. I can't get it. It's supposed to be illegal, like if you're blocked from your access to money. So I don't know how they can.
But
even
they
get
it's a loophole because they're not
Blackmailing.
technically a bank, and that's a rule for a bank.
that.
See,
Yeah.
that's so there's these loopholes these fucking businesses get away with, and it's really shady too.
But I still have the cell phone. One day they'll discover something and to hack back into it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I never traded it in, never sold it. It's
See,
there.
and that's a
worth a
perfect
lot.
example of how the global elite uses technology to be against us. They say, "Oh yeah, it's making your life modern, it's making your life better," and
No, you're just a
meanwhile,
slave
it's
to it.
shafting you. Yeah, or a slave to it, or you're getting shafted by it.
Yeah, but the Canadian government also, I'm bashing Carney very, very badly tonight, but they wanted to filter all traffic on the cell phone, even if you use Signal or some secure media or whatever. They really wanted to filter all traffic, and then the company started saying, well, we're not going to deal with Canada anymore. Then
Yeah,
it's really a
because
battle.
Canada's turning into the CPP.
Yeah,
Simple
but
as that.
even if they filter all traffic and all that, then why? Okay, suppose they filter everything. Why is there freaking still a crime rate? Why is it more dangerous these days than it
Because they
was
want
back
to
in the
keep it that
90s?
way. They'll keep it that way in order to keep these laws in place they create a problem and then they have the solution.
Yeah,
But the solution has a cost,
yeah, exactly.
right?
Yeah,
So there will always be a problem reaction solution. David Icke used to talk about this all the time.
yeah,
Create a problem, come up with the solution, present it to the people and say, yeah, we're going to help you. But it comes with a cost. They don't put that in the fine writing.
They don't like stable countries, so they create instabilities like that. That's what I heard from an interview. That's why they create. That's why they brainwash society with all these mainstream media outlets to create instability and to kill the fabric. They the family fabric. This is
That's right.
fundamental.
And that was the intentions of the TV when it first came out, was to manipulate and control the masses through the television.
Yeah,
As
and they'll
time
use the
went
civil
on,
distress to increase surveillance as well.
Oh, how about
Use
the
it as an
funding that
excuse.
they got for the traffic cams, right? Like, okay, traffic cams, they got in the billions of dollars to line the streets with these traffic cams. But let's say
Yeah.
something happens, you can't access it. It's for the government. This is their traffic cam. Like, if you know, like somebody gets mugged or a car accident, they say no, settle it with the insurance, but you can't have access to prove it through video. You understand? Yeah, like if you're on an intersection and a car hits you and you know for sure it's their fault and you don't have any other way to prove it, they won't let you to pull the cameras from the lights. You know, you have no
Oh,
rights to them. Yeah.
Yeah, those
Interesting.
flock cameras too that are everywhere. Yeah, those are
But
just
but that your tax dollars paid for them, but you have no rights to them.
yeah,
Yeah.
and it's kind of BS
exactly.
too.
Can you share my screen again, Mike?
Yeah.
Check this out. This is the attack vector matrix of the cell phone. Look at that. It's Canada. Canada is at high risk for all the techniques. SS7. They can enter your cell phone. They can track your location. They can filter all the communication that is going on your cell phone. You know, it's all
And
it's
as
all
the-
high risk.
As the economy degrades and civil unrest increases, they're just going to use that as an excuse to increase all this surveillance.
Apparently,
Yeah.
AI figured out already how to use Wi-Fi to see through walls. They can tell where
Yeah,
you
I've seen
are at
that.
all
Yeah.
times.
I've seen that. Yeah, that's freaky.
That's
man.
pretty
I've
scary
seen
too.
That's
Yeah.
like the end all right there. All this, like, yeah. As long as AI can do that, then we're pretty much screwed.
Well, you know, here in Canada, I don't know what it's like in the States, but every 50 feet there's a damn cell phone tower. Like, how many do they have to put up? Like,
Yeah,
everywhere.
because
I'm
some of
talking
them,
they're everywhere.
there's so many carriers, and they could literally be sharing a lot of these towers, and they won't.
Oh, they are. They are. You got Bell. You got Rogers. You
Roger.
got Telus. You got what's the one my daughter's
Videotron,
with?
Videotron in Quebec.
Yeah, there's about 5 different carriers on one tower. But what I'm saying is there's a tower every friggin' kilometer. Like, they're everywhere. Like, especially in my hometown, every 50 feet I see another cell phone tower. I go, and then I'm wondering, man, if Eric Dollard's right, it's like you might as well stand right in front of a friggin' a radar friggin' sweeping device. You might as well just stand right in front of it and just let it blast you. Like,
Exactly.
there's so much RF coming off these things. It's crazy.
I really do think that's
Crazy.
why we've had so many autistic kids throughout our generation.
I think so too.
It's
I really
really-
think so
The
too.
first time in history, we don't know the repercussions of all this. We're the
Yeah, but
first ones-
even worse, they have plastics in tap
Yep.
water and fluoride and a whole bunch of garbage in tap water, and men they lose their testosterone. Compare over the years, where men are a lot more effeminated than they used to be back in the 70s and going on. So, you know. So we don't play. There's no masculine men anymore in society.
Yeah, I've seen a couple of podcasts where they're talking about exactly what you're talking about there, Philip. Yeah, they've
Yeah.
taken the man out of the man.
Exactly.
The last good generation of men was Gen X. Everything
exactly.
after that, they're jellyfish.
Yeah.
Jellyfish. I'm sorry. If
There's
you're
there's no legacy, man.
yeah,
Then-
after Gen X, it was dead for the men. Men
Yeah.
disappeared.
Yeah. It's pretty fast, huh? Just less than 30 years, and it's all gone.
Anything after 1980, you're a part of that generation of
Yeah.
demasculating men. Yeah, so
Yeah.
on purpose.
on purpose. Yeah,
Yeah.
Like I was born in 73, so I was born before the end of Gen X. And the way I was brought up, oh man, the kids today wouldn't last 15 seconds.
Yeah, I think we're called
They
Gen
wouldn't.
Y, but nobody really talks about Gen Y. It's like that gap that went from Gen X to
What year were you born, Jervis?
85.
85. So yeah, you're part
Yeah,
of the millennials.
you're Gen Y millennial slash
Is it Gen Y
millennials.
or millennial?
No, after
They called it Gen Y.
after 90,
Gen Y?
1980, it's Gen Y.
Yeah.
Gen Y. Okay.
You never hear of Gen Y though. It's funny.
Yeah, yeah. Gen X was 1962 to 1980.
And now they have Gen Alpha, right?
Yeah,
Alpha
that's
is the
yeah,
new
that's,
gen. Yeah.
Yeah.
that's pretty bad.
Yeah,
They-
they're so bad.
Yeah.
It's
Oh man,
scary.
my generation, man. When we fell off the bike and we tore our knee open and we got blood everywhere, you know what we used to do? We threw dirt on it and kept going.
yeah.
That's Gen X.
Duct tape and dirt.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I did as a kid. I fell off my bike so many times I can't even remember.
As long
And
And
as
that's
you
why
have
your
duct tape, you're
generation had a lot of tetanus shots.
We didn't care. We didn't care. We just threw dirt on it and kept bike riding.
good. When we got stung by jellyfish, we just pissed on it.
I don't remember as a kid.
I
Hey,
don't
that's
have
not a
jellyfish
good
in
idea. I don't
Canada.
recommend it.
You know,
I don't have
I don't
jellyfish in
remember
Canada.
as a kid
it's,
ever
it's true.
having clear knees. I always had scabs on them. Like
Mhm.
I don't
Oh, yeah.
like as a kid. I remember my elbows and my knees always had scabs for some
Yep.
reason on them. Yeah.
Yep.
But it's
Yeah.
true to when you get stung by a stingray or something like that, you have to piss on it or put your foot in hot water. It's that's the only way, but the most efficient
Philip.
way is to
Philip.
Yeah, I've
piss
heard
on
that.
it.
I've heard
Philip,
that.
do you have stingrays in Montreal?
No, but when I was in San Diego, I did get stung by a stingray.
He's got loan sharks.
well, if this means anything, when I was in the Philippines traveling around, we went to a beach near my wife's hometown, and one of her cousins ran out to the water, with a cup in his hand, and he goes, "What the hell's he doing?" So he ran out and he scoops it up, right? And it turns out it was a box jellyfish.
Oh,
It has probably the most deadliest venom on
Yeah,
the
the
planet. Like
Manivore and stuff.
highly toxic.
Right.
Like this thing will drop an elephant.
Mm.
It wasn't very big. It's only about that big, around 2-3 inches, but deadly.
But
You would-
water animals are a lot more dangerous than
the
land.
poisons. Oh my
Yeah.
god.
Especially
like
the
stonefish.
snake,
Don't
Yeah.
ever touch a stonefish. It's the
Yeah,
deadliest fish.
stonefish. See, in the Philippines, when they go swimming in the ocean, they always have shoes on
Mm.
because of the sea urchin,
Sea urchins.
stonefish,
The puffer fish, too.
Puffer fish. There's a lot, sharks.
Yeah.
Sharks.
Yeah. They got tons of sharks in the Philippines,
They got
so you
still
just have to worry about that.
But I'm surprised. When I was in San Diego, I thought that United States is the best. I still had the picture of Star Trek in my head, and the movies of Star Trek in San Francisco and all that. I had that picture in my head, and
Kirk
when I
or
was
Picard?
and when I moved to San Diego, I said, "Oh, United States is going to be very advanced technology, with technology and stuff like that." It is, but I was surprised to see that they didn't put heat detectors to detect sharks, in public beaches or things like that, because it's very easy to do, to put a heat detector.
It makes
And you-
sense.
Yeah.
detect
Yeah,
the
but
shark.
they have,
There's
you know
also
what, they have
specific
these.
frequencies you can put out into the water
Right.
that
Yeah.
deflect them.
I'm glad you mentioned that. Yeah, they
So
do have a shark repeller. They do have a shark repeller, and I don't know why they're not putting it, in the oceans near beaches and stuff to repel the sharks.
Yeah,
But it is the
Alien.
frequency.
Dogs barking at some aliens over there.
Yeah, I got 2 psychotic mutts that live in this building, and every time they see a person, they go ape shit. So
What do you guys think about James Franco seeing an alien? Did you hear about that?
James Franco. No, I haven't heard about that one. No.
Well, he's a good actor, so
Yeah,
people
he's
don't
good. Yeah.
know.
He played in the interview with Seth Rogen.
Yeah, he's Spider-Man.
Yeah.
But I mean, if he's lying, he's going to lose a lot of fans. So I don't know. I don't know if it's for real, like maybe for a movie coming up or something. He's trying to make it look like that, but it seems like he was telling the truth.
I think people.
Yeah, any
tell the
kind of
truth,
promotional stunt at this point, when we're on the verge of real disclosure, is kind of like a dick move, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Are you saying aliens or a UFO or UAP? There's a difference
said
between
a creature.
aliens, a creature.
Like,
okay.
yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there's
And
a
his
video. I
dog.
haven't seen it. I know you're referring to. I just haven't seen the video.
Yeah, I mean, he looks like he's legitimately freaked out, but you know, it's tough when you're an actor to convince people.
Right. Yeah, you never know. They're
all
paid
gonna think
liars.
you're
That's what they
lying.
are.
Yeah. So
But
everybody.
did you guys watch the Disclosure? Not the movie, the
Yeah,
well,
I
and
watched
the
it.
movie, but
Yeah.
the U.S. Like the
But
hearing.
I watched a little bit of it.
Like
I
Stephen
thought
Greer?
most of no.
No,
She's
the-
talking about the real congressional hearings on the UAP
I
thing.
started
think
to.
I
but it's
think a
getting
lot of
boring.
it is. I think a lot of it, honestly, is a nothing burger.
Yeah, it's a
I-
distraction.
I didn't
Yeah,
get not even a single
agree.
useful bit of information from, I watched it all. All I heard was, sad stories of how people lost jobs and this, but it wasn't like telling me exactly what did you guys see? What were those documents? What were those, don't tell me, oh, it's hidden behind this door and we were able to know, and then once we knew we lost this. It's like that's not enough of what kind of information we're looking for.
No, they're water dripping the most inconsequential data they can to distract us.
That's right. They say, "Oh yeah, something's going on, but we can't tell you."
Yeah.
Well, what the hell's that? If you're not, disclosure is disclosure.
Mm-hmm. And you have, two forces honestly vying right now. We have the deep state going against the Trump administration, and they're not exactly trying to play ball with the deep state, exactly by releasing this UAP information. It's kind of like a distraction from, in my opinion, the Epstein files and the war that's going on. So
Did
Now
you
the
know
other
that
part too.
Did you
I
know
just
that
think
the-
each subject has its audience and its interest
You
group.
see,
Did you know
one thing
that
I did.
Did you
Sorry,
know
go
that?
ahead.
Did you know that the deep state is controlled in big part by the IRGC? Because it's all about money, and the IRGC
Yeah.
got a lot of money apparently.
mhm.
Yeah.
I heard the
So-
Trump administration wanted to release some of the more consequential data, but the deep state fought back. There was literally some information that was stolen off of a representative's desk. So,
Well, there was-
that's the kind of behind the curtains war that's going on that front for disclosure.
Well, I seen one interview with one of the congressmen that was at these hearings, and it was outside. They were talking to him, and they said, "Yeah, well, we're going to start disclosing some information, but we kind of have to be kind of a little bit worried about some of the stuff that we might try to disclose. There might be some long-term consequences, regarding free energy and stuff like this." I'm like, "Whoa, really?"
Well, I was gonna say, I think like the head honcho at the top is the Department of Energy, and
Yeah.
naval intelligence
yeah.
is involved a lot too, because I think there's a bunch of underwater bases, and like Star Wars and all that. They still speak like sailor terms in those shows, because it kind of all started in the Navy, in my opinion. Navy intelligence and
Maritime,
Mhm.
maritime everything.
Yeah. Navy's deeply involved with it. You would think Air Force, but it's
No,
Like-
Right, but when you think about it,
the-
though,
the Navy, they got more fighter jets than the Air Force, you know?
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, but also if there are any like extraterrestrial bases, they're going to be under the ocean, and you
Right.
got to think the Navy's going to see all sorts of crazy shit, and being out there on the ocean all day.
Exactly. Yeah. And a spaceship is a lot like a submarine. You have to have the controlled environment and air mixtures, and it's a lot like submarine type of technology.
The same with spaceships. If I were going to say retrofit a device to go in outer space, I'd be picking a submarine very first thing.
That's
Yeah.
yeah,
Right.
exactly.
Yep.
So, and a lot of these old sightings of UFOs, a lot of them said they were cigar shaped. Well, who's to say it wasn't a retrofitted submarine made into a flying device?
A yellow
Yeah.
submarine.
Interesting. I mean, according to Dr. Greer, Stephen Greer, he says at least some of the Tic Tac shaped ones are from like Lockheed Martin.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like the TR-3B and all that.
They got skunk works at Lockheed Martin.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it makes sense that they would design something if it was a submersible too, like to be kind of like a submarine shape.
It would do everything. Yeah.
I mean, we've already seen
a perfect platform.
We've already seen these spaceships like go underwater. So yeah, I mean they have the same capabilities.
Yeah. I mean, if they can like use their force fields to divide water and like have basically no friction through it, then the same with the atmosphere.
Electromagnetic shielding. So you can zip through the water at like 5 times the speed.
But it's possible to have
friction.
It's possible to have tractor beams, and that's exactly what I submitted to the Office of Naval Research. The tractor beams, pushing and pulling tractor beams.
So you could have like a device at the bottom, like pulling something from the top.
Yeah, just like Star Trek. Exactly like Star Trek, when they hold another ship or something like that. That's exactly the same thing. A tractor beam like that. We can pull.
Yeah, pull. I heard in one of these hearings, Philip, you might find this interesting, that they had a sonar device tracking a device that was coming towards their battleship. And supposedly the submersible was doing about 250 knots.
That's crazy.
Yeah, but
that's fast.
Yeah, the stealth propulsion, I'm proposing also to the DARPA and the Office of Naval Research is 100 times more efficient than the DARPA pump, which is the second best technology. And so I got the scientific merit. I just need to do the administration paperwork shit, and should be good in a couple of months.
I'm sure they got some of that tech from Schauberger too. You know how he was fascinated with how the fish could swim upstream, like it was just floating in the stream. Like as you got rapid water coming towards it, it's just able to just hover there, because of the way it's shaped and everything. So,
like
Jarvis, you might find this interesting. Schauberger, one of his experiments proved that a floating object in cold water is more buoyant than floating in warm water.
Interesting, huh? I didn't. Well, it's more. Well, it's more dense at one point, but ice actually expands when it becomes solid. So that's kind of weird. Right. It's at one temperature, it could be really dense, but then once it freezes, it actually gets less.
What about entropy?
Well, like he did these experiments with these logs. He worked at a place where they did logging, and he built these channels where all these logs would go down through these water channels. He found out when he got the water cooled down, he was able to get the heavier logs down the shafts.
I remember hearing about that. Yeah.
Yeah. There's a good video on Schauberger. They really did a good job about. I think the movie came out around 2000, maybe even a little bit earlier. And they went over his techniques and actually showed the locations where he was doing his research. This guy was light years ahead of everybody else.
Yeah,
light years.
yeah, he was definitely on another level.
He was like a Tesla.
Yeah, I think he met Tesla actually. Yeah, I wanted to go into something, but it's getting kind of late. But I heard in the Navy, like these rumors of the Bermuda Triangle, some of them was the reason some of the ships were sinking is because methane pockets could just come out like and bubble and lower the buoyancy of the ship, and it would just literally swallow it. Because the ship in that methane filled water would become heavier, swallow the ship. So the Navy actually, well, if you think about it, you could purposefully release methane in certain situations to mimic that in an enemy environment. You know what I mean? So imagine like
That
that
is a weapon.
Imagine a fleet of people coming to America and then all of a sudden they just sink.
Yeah,
but they already put all the methane in tap water these days.
I just envision 2 submarines instead of like cannons. You have people sticking their butts out in front.
We get the propulsion too.
Weapons of mass destruction.
It's brilliant. We just solved it.
To answer Elijah.
No, but they had this weapon they were working on, talking about what you were talking about, Jarvis, where they would put it in a torpedo and release all this gas as the torpedo goes right underneath the enemy ship.
The cavitation
releases the gas, and that cavitation, and just the weight of the ship, it sinks itself.
Yeah, it'll snap the ship in half too.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm surprised you heard about that. Yeah.
Yeah, I heard it. I've known about this for a while.
They got some crazy stuff in the Navy, man. I'm telling you.
Well, they have an unlimited budget.
They still don't have everything, because otherwise they would have rejected my submissions. You know
what? The way I see
that's
it,
true.
Philip, they probably have it, but you don't want to reveal your best weapons. You want to make those.
Well, the thing is, Mike,
exactly.
I think they have a lot of like different ideas from inventors and patents, but they don't really have a lot of, in my opinion, like frameworks or models that kind of explain the science behind it in a way that you can actually adapt the technology.
Yeah,
and I think that's what's really valuable.
That's why they still need to reverse engineers. They still need to reverse engineer the UFOs, because they still don't have the mathematical framework. But I do have it.
Yeah, they're good at copying, but they don't understand.
Yeah, but I do have it. It's on my computer, so if anybody wanted.
But that's a consequence of fragmenting the science too. You have it all compartmentalized where the scientists can't communicate with each other.
That's right. And apparently that's what Lazar was talking about too, that he says this stuff was so far ahead.
Right.
They just didn't have this material science to know what they were dealing with.
Mm-hmm.
You're talking about metallurgy that's thousands, maybe millions of years ahead of what we know. Yeah. When they're looking at this stuff, they're going, well,
it's almost like they're 3D printed. They don't see any way it's welded.
Yeah, we might not even have the correct equipment to see on the level of their manufacturing process.
Right. It like he said it was like the ship was grown.
But
Right.
the Navy is the second best organization on this planet, but clearly the top organization is still the deep state, because as soon as you think that Einstein is right, then you at the mercy of the deep state right there.
You're in compliance.
Yeah, you're in compliance of the deep state, because the deep state control the Nobel Prize Committee that they probably invented it. They probably are indirectly tied to Alfred Nobel, who started it.
He invented dynamite.
I heard something about the Nobel Prize, that they're going to pull it out from who they gave it to or something like that. Yeah, and they're gonna
Mm.
give it to and it's unheard of. So I'm not sure
Yeah,
if this is legit or not, but
Pull it
that's
out.
like
What do you mean?
like
giving
they're
a
gonna take
Grammy and
back,
being like,
yeah, they're
"Oh,
gonna take the
sorry,
prize
you
back
don't get this
from whoever
Grammy."
they gave the the Nobel Peace Prize to.
Wow.
Anyways, guys, we're at the top of the hour. We're going to call it quits for tonight, but we want everybody that's on the show tonight. If you want to stick around afterwards for a roundtable, you're free to do that. Chat, you were great. Thanks for all the great conversations going on. Elijah and Wally Tango Foxtrot, and others, Stephen. Thanks a lot, guys, for keeping that chat alive and well. We go live to air again next Friday. I guess that's what. When's your July 4th? The Friday or the Saturday?
Oh, it's Canada
The
Day
first
next
is
week. Canada
Wednesday.
Day and then
Wednesday.
Independence Day next week. So I guess next week
Yeah.
is party time.
Yeah, hopefully the world don't go boom.
When I was in San Diego, we used to beach party in July 4th. That was awesome, man.
Yeah.
I have a bucket
Yep.
of fireworks. See, I can't wait.
Yeah. Anyways, everybody, thanks a lot. We go live to air, as you know, every Friday at 9 o'clock Eastern, 6 o'clock Pacific. And don't forget to check out the Faraday Research YouTube channel. Membership is $3.99 a month. You get a huge amount of archive to watch. Over 1,000 videos I've accumulated, and several hundred live shows with hours upon hours. It would take probably a year to go through all the content in my members section. So definitely worth the $3.99 a month. Don't forget to subscribe and share this show to anybody that you know that's into this kind of stuff. And we'll see everybody next week.
Thanks, Mike. Good night, everybody.
Peace.
Bye.
And then there was 4.